Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the channel, and Alhamdulillah we are back with a new season. A lot has been talked about. There have been a lot of changes afoot at Old Trafford over the summer. Many new acquisitions in terms of backroom staff. Roor is back, but only two players have come in. A couple of fringe players have left, the likes of Kamwala, but it seems like same old for Manchester United in the transfer window. Xerxes and Leniero have come in into the team. Young players, promising players, especially Euro, but he got injured straight away and is out for 3 months. Already gone through surgery. Alhamdulillah, it went well, so he should be recovering and should be back in a couple of months. Xerxes should start or at least be on the bench for the Community Shield, so that's a good sign. Obviously, Haaland has damaged his muscles. I think his thigh muscle, and he'll be out for 6 more weeks. And to be honest, we haven't made any kind of apart from Euro, which you can say that we snaffled him under the eye of Real Madrid. So that was a coup. But we haven't signed even a single midfielder, especially defensive midfielder. We've been flirting with the likes of Ugarte, like we did with Frankie de Jong under the previous regime. But obviously the owners are still the same. I think we're seeing a lot of the same things. We've contacted many players. We have made personal agreements with them, but we don't have any money to buy them. That's been the case with Dalit, Mazorai, as well as Ugarte. Obviously, recently we've been linked with the likes of Sander Berge, Fofana. I don't understand what kind of profiling we're doing. The same thing happened with the manager thing. After the season ended, we were scouting for any kind of person to come to the club. We seem to be looking for different kind of profiles as managers. And after all that smoke, we come back and take back Erik ten Hag as a manager. So no progress there. And certainly in the transfer market for players as well, it's been slim picking. There has been no overhaul that we expected in this transfer window for sure. The match itself, the curtain raiser for English football. Obviously, City will be smarting after that FA Cup loss against United. United are undercooked. So many players have come back late, especially with Portugal and obviously for Copa America. But players have been injured as well, like so Leniero and Rasmus Højlund being long-term absentees. Also the likes of Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, all of them are doubts for the weekend match. As far as our head-to-head in Community Shield, obviously we remember that wonderful Community Shield match against City. We ended up winning with a Nani goal 3-2. Obviously, the season did end well with them clinching that Premier League, the first Premier League trophy with that Aguero goal. But obviously, that match in particular was good. It showed promise with the likes of Cleverley and Welbeck playing really well. The likes of Johnny Evans, Smalling and Jones were brought in the summer. I think City has been fighting in the preseason, especially with their youngsters, McAtee, Oscar Bob. They have played exceptionally well. I've seen a couple of their matches. I think they'll be a threat. They're always a threat, especially against the undercooked United. I think they'll have a field day against us at Wembley. Coming to players to watch, of course, for them, Haaland has been exceptional. He scored a hat-trick in the last preseason match. They beat Chelsea easily also. Of course, they haven't been playing with Rodri, who hasn't returned or came late after his exploit with Spain. But they've been playing with Calvin Phillips. But it's been the youngsters, apart from Haaland, who have impressed. The likes of McAtee, Oscar Bob, they've scored, they've assisted. I think they'll be a threat. For United, Ahmad was the standout player in the preseason. Apart from that game against Liverpool, I thought he did exceptionally well in all other matches, especially against Rangers and Real Betis. I think he'll be a threat. I think he has cemented that position on the right-hand flank. And obviously, we might go with Sancho as a false striker. So Rashford will stick to his left-wing position. And Garnacho hasn't had too much in terms of training and recuperation. So I think that's an easy choice in the front three spots in the team. I think Community Shield is a good way to enter into the season. There's not too much pressure. Of course, it's a trophy at the end of the day, but it's not the big one. So I think there is not as much pressure. Of course, being a Manchester derby, there'll be heightened response from the crowd. There'll be electricity in the environment. And especially how we finished the last season with the victory in the FA Cup, I think there'll be hostility to begin with. It'll be interesting how United play. Of course, the likes of Bruno have only had a week's training, but I won't be surprised if he's thrown right back into the team. Of course, the likes of Menu and Xerxes might be put into the starting side as well. So I don't expect anything new, anything exceptional, anything dynamic for Manchester United under this manager. Of course, he hasn't been given as much of firepower in terms of transfers. I still hope that United make at least three signings, couple of midfielders and a forward player, as well as a centre back, especially since Euro has been injured. I think the most important accusation, or certainly retention of that accusation, is Erik ten Hag. And he has to prove himself. He has to show that we can progress as a footballing side on the pitch. We have to show much more quality, much more impetus, much more bravery on the ball. And if we don't see that in the first few weeks, I think the detractors, the criticism, the pitchforks will be out again. And I think it'll be truly deserved. I think with that FA Cup victory, he has avoided and has been immune to the scrutiny that he should have been exposed to. I think a lot of people have been making excuses with injuries for the last season. I think they forget under him for 2 seasons we haven't actually scored any goals. I think deservedly we could have been out of the Champions League even in the first season. And in the second season we did finish it. I think the clock is ticking with him still. I don't think his job is safe. I think there has to be a wholesome, I think there has to be a sea change, a complete transformation in terms of performance on the pitch. And until we see that, even with the players that he's got, there has to be a change. And if it doesn't happen, irrespective of early victories, I think his job will be on the line, and he'll feel the pressure, and he'll be under the pump from the weekend itself. Inshallah, we get a victory and start this campaign on a brighter note. Please join us for the Red Dissection episode. We'll be back with that. Until then, take care. Pray for Palestinians, all the oppressed people, especially prayers go out to Muslims and all those affected in the UK rise, as well as in Bangladesh and other parts of the world. So until the Red Dissection episode, take care. Assalamu alaikum.